All right, so welcome back to another episode of Career Pro. Let us just jump into today's segment. So before we even go on, I just want you guys to know that we'll be having our practical certification workshop. So that workshop is not just a workshop for just doing a workshop. It's one of the steps in our four-step certification process. And for persons who are interested in being certified and getting your certificate and being a part of our certification platform, you can go ahead and you can sign up for that. We're going to have the link shown, and the link is also in our bio. You can also go ahead and sign up there. Welcome to another episode of Career Pro. All right, so for today, what we want to basically focus on is the whole aspect of who we are and why so many certified people are still unemployed. No, let's go there now. Now, we at Economics, we're structured different than the other organizations because our motto is this: if a person is serious enough to do the work that they want to do, they don't need to have someone over them 24/7. We do have instructors who periodically check in on the students and all of that, but we provide everything there. And as we mentioned, we have our four-step process. Step one, access to the LMS. Step two, you go ahead and you do the practical workshop. Step three, you go and do your work experience or your internship, anyone you want to call it. And then step four, you sit your NCT vet or AMCA exams. All right. So let's talk about that now. When it comes on to hiring, I can talk about hiring because we're currently doing some hiring. And when it comes on to the hiring of persons, we don't hire for theory, right? Theoretical knowledge when it comes on to employees is good, very good. I won't say anything on that. But the aspect for employability is competency on our part. Because I will tell you this, for us here at Economics, if you are meeting the standards that we want to ensure that when we put you into the scenario as an instructor and you go there, let's say go to the workshop, and a student decides to challenge you intellectually, you are able to stand on your 2 feet. So you're competent in it. Now, our programs for us, how we operate at Economics, the programs are all structured in such a way that when you finish your program and you do well on your internship, you have a high likelihood, a 90 to 99% chance of being hired by the same place that you're working at in terms of your internship. So that proves your competency. That shows the employer, say, hey, you know what you're doing. So again, we do have different courses for persons who are interested, but for those who want to get certified, we have our workshop coming up in March 25th to 26th. If you're interested, the link is in our bio. You can go ahead and register. So let's go to some, I call them calls, what person sending them message. So we have Shanae Brown, 24, from Manchester. And Shanae wrote in to say that I completed an early childhood level 2 course 2 years ago. I passed the exams, and I think that's the NCT vet. But when I applied to basic school, they say I need some classroom experience. I thought the certificate was enough. Now I feel stuck. Do I need to redo another course? In your case, Shania, or should I say Miss Brown, you don't need to redo another course. The key aspect is this. Whoever you did the program with in Manchester or wherever you did the program with, they did not inform you about the whole aspect of the work experience, because the work experience does actually count as work experience. That sounds like a double negative, but it does count as work experience. So you can actually say that your internship, being that it should have been a non-negotiable part of your certification process, your internship, your hands-on experience is your work experience. It doesn't matter the amount of hours that you do. Now, what I also want you to understand is that number of hours, you can translate that even into months. You can say, okay, I did 3 months at a place, 4 months at a place. And another key thing to, and this goes not just for Miss Brown, but for anybody doing the programs, Don't just stick to what the tracking documents give you. Go over and beyond. Because I would have met a student recently and she would have said that, yeah, on our tracking document for our nursing students, you're only allowed to observe the changing of a catheter. She ended up having to change a catheter. But the nurse said, no, man, you're not just observe, you have to change it. And somebody correct me, I don't know the bag that holds the fecal matter. She changed that also. So that work experience also allows you to do that. Another thing too, you can even break down different activities you did in the work experience, Ms. Brown, and that will help you now to prove your competency. But yeah, intellectual performer teaching does tie into that. All right. So another message was sent in by Andrew Campbell from Portland. He's 22. He said that I'm considering nursing assistant, but I eventually want to move into practical nursing. I'm worried that if I start at assistant level, I may get stuck there. Is there real career progression for this? All right. So I do understand the fear of stagnation because a lot of times when persons do courses, and it is rare, very rare to find persons, males, who want to go into nursing. So I do want to applaud him for that. But you have to also understand that understanding where you want to go is crucial. So my suggestion, you want to do the nursing assistant or the practical nursing, that's the decision you need to weigh. Get yourself assessed. We do have a career assessment that we give to persons. It's totally free. You can do that career assessment, and the career assessment will give you a breakdown of your strengths, your weaknesses, and the area that is best fitting for you. Then let's focus now on the assistant to the practical nursing. For me, it depends on where you're planning to go. If you're looking for a mainly overseas placement, you can still do the practical nursing and add the nursing assistant to it. Or you can just do straight practical nursing. That's just my suggestion to you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Crystal Foreman. I am from St. Anne Monig. I am currently enrolled in Early Childhood Level 2. I learned about the program from a friend who recommended it to me for this particular phase in my life. And so far, I found it to be interesting and beneficial thus far. I would recommend it because in Jamaica, where there's not much opportunity, especially when you reach a certain age in your life, it gives you a chance or a second chance to do something for yourself. Because sometimes we have, situations in our life where we divulging from different things that we plan to do in our lives, but it creates opportunity for you to make something of yourself, a second chance. And even with our teachers, they are very patient. So it's not a case where you have to feel like, hey, I'm not smart enough. They're patient with you. And as I say, it opens up a door for opportunities for a person who wants a second chance at life and to make something of themselves.
All right, so welcome back. We have our next person who would have written in, Mr. Ricardo Smith from St. James, 31, and he wrote to say that I work full-time in construction, but I want to transition into healthcare. My biggest concern is balancing internship hours with my job. Is this realistic? And will employers take me seriously because I'm starting at a later age? Truth be told, you're gonna have some employees who will look at you away, Mr. Smith. Yeah, but prove yourself. Now, crux of the matter, which is your construction job and your internship. I know for a fact that most workers in Jamaica, based on how the laws are structured, you're supposed to be working 40 hours. And if it's a case that you're working 40 hours, you should get about 2 days off. You can actually arrange, because we've had students who would have done that, who they would have arranged, because they're working full time, they would have arranged with the healthcare facility to do the internship hours at particular times of the day and particular days. So on the person's day off, let's say they have a day off on Wednesday and a Thursday. So we'll do the Wednesday, Thursday, both days or maybe one day, and they get that flexibility for that. So it will be based on how you approach the particular location for your internship, and that then will somewhat facilitate you now being able to work alongside getting your internship hours done. All right, so nice question, Mr. Smith. Let's move on now to Monique Grant 29 from St. Anne. And Monique would have asked the question to say that I see many institutions advertising quick certifications, right? Some do not mention workshops or internship hours. Why is your process longer, and am I overpaying for extra steps? All right, our process is not longer, right? Because how we operate, we're a self-paced organization. So the workshop is where you come on and do your practical hands-on training. So the instructor will teach you to do, let's say you're doing the nursing, the CPR, the bed changing, the bathing, how you lift and all of that. If you're doing the early childhood, they go through the listening, the theory, where you set up the classroom, where you deliver your content. That's what the purpose of the workshop is. We technically work faster than most of our organizations. The only drawback, and we're working to solve that drawback, is the whole aspect of the exams, because we go directly through NCT vet, and because of that, we have either the June or the November sitting. And if you all know, for the June sitting closes off in November. Luckily, because of Melissa, and not luckily, but because of Melissa, the deadline was pushed to January. So June sitting closes off normally in November. November sitting, normally registration closes off in June. So that's it. But what we tell persons is that within that time period when you register for your exam, that's when you get everything done. You get your hours completed, you complete the notes and the material, attend the workshop, any amount of work you need to put in, you put that in during that time period. And you can work at the same time. So it's not a case where it's a longer process. We give you the flexibility. We're not structured around solely school. You can work and study at the same time. Now, let's go on to a next person, who is Keisha Morgan, 27 from Kingston. And she said, I got hired as a caregiver last year, so that will be 2025. But I noticed I am not progressing. Others are being promoted. I show up, I do my work, but I feel invisible. What am I missing? I'm not sure what promotion per se, maybe is extra responsibilities you're talking, right? But let's look at that aspect. There is a difference, and this is just how the workplace operates. You will see persons getting promotions and you will see persons not getting promotions. Promotion is solely based on the organization's needs and personal preference. Cool. Now, let's say you got hired on as a caregiver, right? As I say, you get hired on as a caregiver. I presume you have a level 2 or level 1. All right. Let's say you saw somebody get a promotion to become, let's say, assistant teacher or even lead teacher. Ask yourself this. Did they do additional certification that would qualify them to go and do that position? Because promotion is not just promoting now. You have to have the experience along with the paperwork to back that promotion. So, yeah, you're sitting with a promotion, Miss Morgan. Yes. But what I need you to understand is that the promotion is solely based off personal preference, the person's academic competency, and the availability of positions. So my suggestion, Keisha, go do your level 3, because I'm presuming you have your level 2, do your level 3 or your level 4. And if you're working at this school and this school is not working out for you, you go to another school. Right? Sometimes the pasture is actually green on the other side. Sometimes. So you can try that. All right. So that's the time we have for the questions for today. But before you go, I just wanted to let you guys know again, we're having a practical workshop. If you're interested in being certified, you can come to those workshops. Just let us know. The link is in our bio. You can go ahead and register from there. Thanks for tuning in.